Hey everyone, Miss Tremblay here. So in this video I'm going to show you how to get started for the next project and just show you all the steps that you need to do to get this project finished. So what we're going to do for this project, we're actually going to do greeting cards. If you don't want to do a greeting card, if you want to use the whole paper and do a painting on the whole surface, that's fine. But doing the greeting cards is going to significantly cut down the amount of surface you have to paint on. So the first step is to get your watercolor paper. And I am going to split my paper in half this way. So not straight down, not the long way. I'm going to split it in half the short way. Don't have a ruler. Just get it as close to even as you can. But I have a ruler, so I'm going to use that. So this is 9 by 12 paper. It's probably a little bit bigger than the paper that you guys have at home. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so I don't have a pair of scissors. I'm going to show you guys an easy way to actually tear your paper without scissors. So we're just going to fold along the line that I made. Sorry, I got to take this off camera. So I'm folding along the line. Now I've turned it inside out so that I can really push down on that line. And if you want to, you can use the end of like paintbrush, you can use a spoon, but just really getting that line as flat as I can. So now I've got my 2 pieces of paper, and I'm going to fold them again because I want a greeting card that opens. So again, I'm just going to use the end of this paintbrush to flatten everything out. And make sure that you open it and flatten in both directions because it'll create a flatter seam here, a flatter fold. So your greeting card will look a little nicer. It'll open more easily along that fold. Okay, so my next step is to figure out the design that I want, and remember that we're using color schemes. So for each one of these greeting cards, you need to use a different color scheme if you're doing 2 greeting cards. You could also tear this if you wanted to. So you could tear this along the line and have like kind of postcards instead of greeting cards. But I like the idea of a greeting card. I'm going to make like a Mother's Day style card. So your next step is to choose your design and your color scheme and use a pencil and really lightly lay that out. So the color scheme that I have chosen for this is an analogous color scheme. So remember that analogous color schemes are colors that are next to each other on the color wheel. This isn't a perfect color wheel, but because I have these blacks and browns and I don't really have oranges, so in an actual color wheel, my yellow would be next to like a yellow green, which is kind of this color, and my oranges would be over here, and I would have a purple. This set doesn't have a purple, but I want to use like a yellow orange and a yellow green and a green, and then a blue-green. So those colors would all be next to each other. So an analogous color scheme is when the colors are next to each other on the color wheel. And then for this other piece of paper, I'm going to use a split complement color scheme, and I'm going to use probably a blue-purple and a red-purple, so the colors on either side of purple, and then a yellow, which is the color that is the complement to purple. But I'm going to start with the analogous color scheme. That one's a little easier. So what I'm going to do is lay both of these out very lightly in pencil. Okay, so I've laid these out very lightly in pencil. This one is a little darker, but I'm actually going to go over this one in pen. So I'm okay with the fact that the pencil drawing is a little bit darker. Whereas this one, I don't think I'm going to use any pen on it. So I went lighter on this one. So I'm going to start with this one because I want to show you guys using a pen. I had one wandering around. So I have a Micron pen, and everybody should have one of these in their course pack, so you can use the one in your pack. You could use a ballpoint pen, but it won't look as nice. You could also use a Sharpie, so anything that's not going to bleed. So I'm going to outline everything except my letters, which I'm going to do after I've painted. And I don't want to spend too much time doing this, and you're going to see in parts. I'm going to just let the pen be broken. So a little implied line. So remembering our element of line. And in other parts, I'll let it be. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to paint my flowers. And remember that I chose a split complement color scheme. So I'm going to use a purple blue here, a purple red here. I'll probably add in the yellow here. And I do have some green because I don't think it will look right to do any of those three colors for the leaves. So I'll probably do like a yellow green to try to keep it as close to that color scheme that I chose as possible. Okay, so now I'm going to use a calligraphy pen to do the Happy Mother's Day, but you could definitely use the Micron pen, or you could even lay this out in more detail and do the hand lettering in watercolor if you would like to.